There's our rooster. Welcome everybody to Beskidy. We are starting off besides Grandpa, still seated over here, relaxing and hoping we are working and taking care of his legacy. Well, I think we need to go back out to the field. The past couple episodes have been a little sluggish as we kind of took a look at the equipment and tried to make some fixes, particularly with the tedding. And as with the last episode, I did a little work off cam to row up the tedded material, which you can see here. I remain troubled that we have these strips in here that are going to take longer to grow back than some other things. You can see the foliage here. You can see there's none here. I'm sure there's some under here that's just tedded. I wish, well, I think I know what's causing that. Well, I know of it. It's wherever the ground modification happens when the grass is picked up. It's something the coating does to it to make sure that the grass regrows. But what I'm seeing is a different growth state, tedding versus raking or windrow. So be all that as it may, we obviously have a job to do. We've rode this up here, and kind of as expressed in the last episode, what I really want to see is, have we fixed the tedder? You know, it's we tedded the whole field, and now I want to see just how many bales come out. Of course, what's going to be a little different, and you'll know I kind of started baling just a little bit the air, and you see there are a number of bales. I think that's probably the right frequency. Leastways, I hope it doesn't get anything beyond that, because we took several, how did I do this? I rode, let's see here. I came this way, that would be heading, what direction? Heading north. I headed north, which rode everything to the left. Then I turned around and rode south, which kicked everything this way. So it's making a larger than normal windrow, I guess. So I would anticipate a few more bales than what we had previously when we took just a single width and rode it up. So, and that's enough jibber jabbering. Let me get this tractor going, and we're gonna see what kind of productivity we can come up with here. And we already, kind of as expressed in the last video, we expanded our baler's working area, so we're gonna kick this thing off, get her going. You know, that's moving them right on out at a fair clip, but I don't think it's over the top. It's maybe still pushing them out. Yeah, I don't know. What do you all think? I think that looks decent. Am I picking up all my material? Yeah, it looks like it. Goodness, give anybody better go. Okay, so there's a fair amount of bales to pick up here. So, yeah, I guess the other concern is you know, you go to all this effort to make all these bales, and just to try to get a little realism. At least if you vomit it out, it's going to give you plenty of bales to pick up and hold the market so you make more money. But this looks like it'll work. I don't know how many we'll get to this field, but it's a lot more realistic than what we had previously, but still sufficient, I hope, you know, that we can make a little money and turn a buck while we're waiting for the crops to get ready to be harvested. And speaking of, oh, actually, you know what? I'm not going to be able to see that in here, am I? Not going to be able to see it here. I think I need to go into this menu. Growing. Oh, this is on like the second color, maybe. Yeah, I got a ways to go. Oh, growing, growing. Patience, patience, patience. So in the meanwhile, we'll just harvest ourselves some bales and haul them to market. And this particular grass patch, I think, kind of in my own musings on what I'm doing here on this Polish farm for Grandpa, I like to think of this particular grass patch as actually belonging to the farm. I mean, if I open the menu again here, let me zoom out. No. See, it's kind of, as I just zoom in, yeah, it's kind of almost on the back end of some pasture, which is just up the hill. It's really sharp cliff there, if you will, getting up to where it's flat. And I suspect, well, maybe it isn't the pasture. I don't know. It's a flat area up there. I'm half tempted to plant it with something, if for no other reason, just out of desperation to have property, that will produce income for the farm. And I also, as I think here now, I don't want to forget that we also have crop in storage. Oh boy, how am I gonna harvest this? Because this is a hard object right here. Yeah, maybe I'll just do that. Yeah, see, it won't grab everything. Oh, I kind of got a bale just stuck in that other window. There, we picked up the whole thing. Circle on back around. Some of these objects on this map, this one, not one of them, have the collisions removed so you can drive through them, which is really helpful in some ways. A lot of the trees in particular you can drive right through, which is helpful in many ways when you're right along the edge of the field. I know some map authors deliberately do it that way so that course play users don't have to worry about all the hard objects. I've got a Let's Play going on an FS15 map, and it has hard objects everywhere, and people kind of laugh at me for trying to make course play work. But I know sometimes, just kind of as an odd to those that use course play, there's a lot of objects that are left without collisions. I'm probably doing this dead wrong. I can just imagine this other Polish farmer, whoever owns Field 52, just coming unglued, that I'm turning around in his field here that's ready to harvest, standing canola, and here I am just kind of mucking about in it, turning around. But anyway, I was going to look into crops, because I think we have some in, let me see here. Yeah, I do. As you may recall, I started this, I had about 10 episodes in, and before I realized someone else was preparing a save game for me, and so I tried to merge the two. I basically got rid of all my equipment except for maybe the trailer over there that hauls bales, and I adopted the save game here along with the mods I was provided. But I'd already harvested, on the other save game that I started, so I basically assumed I'd already harvested here, had to go and plow under a lot of crops, that were ready to go on this particular save. But one thing I tried to do, and I think I got it accurate, was to move over. I missed some of my windrow. Oh, with the soup. Oh, that ain't gonna work. Yeah, so you know what? I I tried to make this a little broader so that it would pick up. Let me see if I push this bale. Oh, and throw it right through it. Oh, that's interesting. Try to make it a little wider in the cutting area so that it would haul in more, and it didn't. Let me see here. I'll put it down here. Anyway, when I made the move to the save game that was provided to me, I tried to make sure the grain storage came over whatever I had on the other one, and I probably need to double check it. Although the numbers that I'm looking at in there are off enough that it looks realistic. In other words, I mean, if this was just starting up from scratch, you would probably see a number of similar quantities in there. It'd be the same between barley, canola, and wheat. And it's not that way here. So I think it's probably legit. Sorry, neighbor. I know this isn't very neighborly of me to turn around in your field, but I don't have much choice. Haha. He's gonna say, yeah, you do. And the choice you're making is to come into my field. Oop. Back up. Yeah, so probably when I get done messing with the mods here and get farming proper, you know, I should be cutting this field a little bit different. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, I had to hit the wrong button. I should probably be doing it maybe around and around, do maybe a couple rounds around before I do back and forth. The hard thing about round and round, especially if you bale the outer rounds first, is you kind of got to pick up the bales before you do it on the inside, unless you're doing it yourself, in which case you can easily go around the bales for the most part. But I know if you ever use coarse play to do your baling, you know, it'll get tangled up in all the bales kind of on the outside edges. But I do know in later versions, yeah, see there's an ice tree, we just go right through it. Nothing to see here. Let's see, no, I gotta back it up. I didn't get the full windrow. Oh, it picks it up going in reverse. Good to know. It's gonna drag it a little ways. There we go. As I was saying, later versions of course play actually make it, and maybe this one does too. I guess I'll have to look into the options, but I think they give you the option of starting on the inside rows before you do the headland or the outer rows. I know this is particularly useful for tillage because in real life, when you till a field, you usually don't do the outer edges first. You know, most of the time what you would do if you're going back and forth in the middle, you do that part first. Because what can happen is your headlands can tend to be overworked. Oh, what? Maybe I do have the more realistic mod still in here that can't even put up the hill. Actually, I don't think I do. The headlands can tend to be overworked, you know, if you go around the edge first and then continue to work over the top of it as you do back and forth. And maybe in modern day with GPS, they get all that figured out, so it isn't even an issue. But I know back in the day, that's what we did. We worked the middle part of the field first, or the inner part, if you will. And then the final thing we did was to go around the edge, you know, and do all the headlands. Typically for tillage, you know, I don't think we did that. Well, it depends on what you're planting. You know, if you're just seeding something, you maybe wouldn't do that. If you're putting something in, yeah, I don't know. It all just depends on the application. But in practical terms, if you were going to use coarse play, you'd have to have something to get around all these bales, because it isn't smart enough, or wasn't, to avoid them on its own. Alright, we're coming down to the last swath here, so almost done. I am pleased with our crop of bales. Oh yeah, up here we can kind of see as we get up the hill, there's our barns and thing up there. Shoot, I can't run the mouse. Oh, dang it. Now I'm missing the windrow. Yeah, I'm a terrible YouTuber. What can I say? Get it back on. Here, let's just pause. Yeah, this is our home base, our farm up here. We got some combines and other equipment sitting there. So I like to think of this patch of grass as our own. The rest of them that we do, I guess the way I'm going to think of them is they belong to other people, and they've graciously let us. They want them cut for some reason, kind of for maintenance, keep the weeds down, whatever. And they don't care how we get rid of the grass as long as we get rid of it. So we're going to take it out in the form of hay so we can make a little money. So we're actually doing a public service for our neighbors. Maybe even the guy whose field we're stomping around in owns some of the grass, and we'll be helping him out. I don't know. But this one here is ours. You know what? I think there's a tiny little tab right. Whoa, there's some good old physics. In real life, you'd kind of just crunch the bale probably with a tractor. You might feel a little bump, but it wouldn't do what it just did. I don't know if I can get that. There we go. Yeah, it looks like we picked it all up. I don't know, do I have a bale on the back that's gonna... Yeah, it probably is trying to fall off. Let me see, is there a way to eject it out here? Let's turn that bad boy off. F1. Bale counter, reset, turn on baler. Shoot, I don't know. There's some cool animation. Let me see here. Is there a input binding, or if I get close, slide in attacher, remove excess of bales. Hey now. Cool. Oh, yeah, that kicked him a little bit. Yeah, the collisions kind of interfered. Sweet. Okay, so you are allowed to empty the baler. You know, I'm not sure you can even do that with the regular in-game baler. Although it's admittedly been a long time since I've done Farm Sim 13. I can't remember where they added that functionality. But I remember in some of the older versions, Farm Sim 1109, you could be so close to seeing that next bale drop off, and it would just stubbornly stick, you know, in the baler. Would refuse to come off, and you just had to feed it a little more grass or straw before it finally came out the back end. Oh, we got one bale kind of hanging around in the... Two bales. Looks like we got a couple out there. Alright, well, we'll pick them up, which is exactly what I'm going to do now. Let me just kind of take this over here. I'll park it to the side, and then I'm going to hop on our tractor over here. I think I've said a couple times I was going to try to sell all those bales before, so I didn't leave them on the trailer. Totally forgot about that, but it appears the game has kept them, so that's good, good, good. Alright, let me hop in here. Yeah, it's kind of reloading them. That's the way the script works. Come back to this. You know what? I don't even know if I have a heavy enough tractor to do this. But let's just pretend that it works. I'm not sure we would use this light of a tractor for a trailer like this. But, oh cool. Okay, it's picking them up. I don't gotta change anything at all. Just drive along here and pick these things up. I'm trying to remember, that's 3 layers. I almost think it's 4 layers that I got on here. Was it 5? Yeah, I don't even remember now. We'll go take care of the top part. You know, this is a little tractor, or it appears to be a little tractor. I gotta study more about it. Let's get it loaded up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think there's going to be, yep, one more layer up on top. It looks like a lighter tractor, but maybe it's stronger than I think it is. Y'all need to study up on it, see how much horsepower it has. It almost seems like it's handling better than the one that I was just on, pulling the baler, which has the appearance of a larger machine, but looks completely the same. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna bounce over that. Yeah, we'd never do that in real life. Okay, so we have a full trailer. We're out here in our planted crop. So you know what? Not bad. We'll come back here, maybe get close to another trailer. See, some of what we have on here is because there was a copious quantity of bales kicked out by the baler over here. So I don't know if we'll get another trailer load, but we'll give a try. So let's haul these to market and sell them. And I think the market for it is down over here. Do a little bit of first person. I don't very often do that. Oh, I got someone on the road here that need to be picked up. For anybody watching this, how many of you have handled hay, you know, in your past? Yeah, here's another place I cut down over here to the right. 2 pieces actually, so we'll be heading over there at some point here. We'll take care of the ad and turn it into hay bales. But how many of you in your past handled these small bales, put them up in a barn, you know, had to load a trailer in the field, and, you know, spent long hours in the sun, heat, and dust doing a very physically challenging exercise called bucking hay, or whatever you call it in your country or region. Just was curious how many, you know, here have done that. I mean, I suppose there are still folks who handle small bales, but almost seems like it's getting to be less and less. I know the farm that I worked on, Lone Oak Farms, years ago, they had the small bales. But anymore, I mean, they've gone to the large bales, and it's just more efficient, you know. You can't really help it. Oh yes, I need to unload. It ain't gonna just do it on its own. Let me see. Okay, here's the head. Unload products. Unload. Toggle load. Toggle unload side. I don't want to toggle. Which side is it going to go? Z. Oh, I see. Small. See, that's back. I can't. Trailer. Oh, wait a minute. I think I want to unload it on the trailer. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Okay, here goes nothing. And hopefully the trigger takes them. Boom! Shakalaka. Oh, and idiot, I wasn't looking at my cash. Let me see if I can get this into 37,055. Oh, shoot. You know, I was trying to figure out how to unload the silly things. So, alright, next time, note to self, pay attention when you're unloading. Maybe it was later versions of the game, as in Farm Sim 15. I seem to remember it in 15. That when you would sell something, it would, oh, somewhere over here, wasn't there like green, some bit of green writing that would say what income you just made? I thought there was. And, you know, maybe with a little script work, you know, you could get it to do it in Farm Sim 13 too. Unless it's a setting. Yeah, I just don't know. What a beautiful map. This is so amazingly picturesque. You know, I'm grateful for whoever it was that suggested it. I kind of think it was a fella Kanopkis Uranum. So, thank you for tipping me off to this map. What a lovely area of the planet. Okay, I gotta get this loaded again. Toggle load X. Alright. slowly approach. Well, I thought I toggled road. Oh, shoot. No. I'm just toggling the types. Okay, now I want to turn it on. Start loading products. B. Gotta read. I think this is another tree you can drive through. Watch it make a liar out of me. So maybe we'll just continue on here. Zip along here and pick these things up. We'll get a run at the hill. And I'm still not liking these strips out here that I know it's going to look funny when it starts growing back. But you know, maybe it won't make any difference. Maybe by the time I have opportunity to come harvest this again, everything will have regrown rather proper, and it just won't make any difference. I don't know. Let's see, will I get another load out of this? Oh, this auto-loading is so helpful. I know I'm not doing it realistic. You know, someone was suggesting that I put the more realistic mod back, that's how they would do it. And I've been giving that some thought. You know, that what they said to consider was to... Because remember, we were only getting $1 a bale or whatever that was. It was just pitiful. I need to watch my cash to make sure it isn't still pitiful. It may be. But we were only getting $1. So what they said, yeah, we didn't get a full load. But you know what? I'm going to go empty it anyhow so we can just clear the deck. Is there any more bales up here? I don't think I left any. So that's something I could do. I mean... It isn't hard to poke the code, so you just open it up and change some prices in there, and I could get myself, you know, a little more money for selling bales. Yeah, that could be done. But the thing of it is if I am too lazy to use a real front loader in here to load bales, can I pick them all up here? Sorry, friend. Taking a little circuit in here. Don't want to leave any physics objects behind if I don't have to. That almost looks like a little dab of grass. Let me pick that up with a baler just to clean it up. But anyway, if I'm auto-loading these things in here, I'm already kind of cheating realism. You know, and by all rights, I should have a front loader out here, or load them by hand, or however it can be done here in Farm Sim 13. So if I'm doing that, you know, does it make sense to continue using the more realistic mod? I know it'd make a couple errors in the log go away, and I'm not even sure that all the equipment is set up to be more realistic compliant. You know, it's not really something I ever dabbled with back in the day. I kind of think it came to be in Farm Sim 11. Can't drive straight here. And then was continued into Farm Sim 13. I don't think it was continued into 15. It made a very small appearance. Maybe some more realistic enthusiasts kind of made some Band-Aid code for Farm Sim 15 to have some of it in place. But then I think it made another reappearance in Farm Sim 17 as more was added to the game. So Durl, the modder, extended it into there. I don't know that it ever was as much in 17 as it happened to be in 11 and 13. Let's see, turn off. Stop loading. It's gonna load on the trailer, so O is unloaded. 38. Alright, now that time, I think that got about $1,300. That was a partial trailer. Yeah, it's still not very good, but it's at least something. It's at least something. So, I don't know. I'm still... Oh, taking a jump. I'm still thinking that one over as to whether I put that back in. Because, you know, I'd have to look at all the equipment. In some ways, it only makes sense to do that if you're really going to go realism the whole way. And if I have to learn how to mod every single vehicle, trailer, and whatever to have all the additional features needed for more realistic, that's a lot of work. And, you know, I've done my fair share of modding. It isn't that I'm opposed to hard work. I've put in a lot of it. But, I don't know, there's only so many hours in a day, and I guess you gotta ask the question of where you want to put that hard work in. So, whoever it was that suggested that, I'm still thinking about it. We'll see. Appreciate the suggestion. Now, can I pick this up? Crank that up. Yeah, there goes the bell, but it didn't let us pick that up. Good, good, good. Folks, we have completed this field. One down, several more to go. When I say several, let me just do a quick count here. I know we just heard the bell go. So I look at the map. This was one, kind of where I parked the trailer over there, which we'll take this to now. I won't bother folding it up because we're just kind of going here off the road, kind of on the farm roads here. So I'll just try to be careful I don't wrap it around a tree. Let's see, this is the one we just left. I labeled on my map, my paper map that I have here, field number 1, but this one over here is going to be field number 2. And let me just sneak this off right into here. Park. Oh, this is our mower, actually. Let me see. I gotta go. Here we go. Crank that puppy up. Here's our tedder. And so we'll take him over to field number 2 also. I have one then across the field from this one. This one's actually in 2 parts. Number 2 has 2 parts. You kind of see it across the ravine. We got a little river in the middle of it. And then we have one over across the road. Field number 4. I did one kind of, here, let me turn this thing off. Actually, I probably should point to this. Except I can't. Alright, patience. Yeah, I hate that sign that shows up here. Okay, so we have one, actually 2 in here. We did this one over here. Here's number 4 that's across the road. This patch up here I called that number 5. I came home, I did a little triangle piece. I called that number 6. I mowed this patch here, number 7. Probably the largest one on the map, or close to it. This one up here I did, number 8. And then finally, kind of where the mower is currently, you know what, you can't see it on here. It's down this way. It's kind of a bent field. I called that one number 9. So we got 1 down, 8 more to go. Thank you so much for watching for a little bit. I wish you a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.